Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Yes, I just spat on my top lip. I have to go, quickly then. If you saw my previous video, you will know that I had supper with Satan. I was discussing The Exorcist on a late video last night. And this morning, I had breakfast with Bond. Yes, I did. Supper with Satan, breakfast with Bond. Because on ITV1 at the weekends, you have Bond movies on this early hours Saturday morning, well, breakfast time. So like 6:30, 7 o'clock, they bung a Bond on. And then on Sunday afternoon, you get it on ITV, another Bond movie. And although I love Bond, I haven't been watching all of these movies from start to finish, but I catch them and I love them. And I think they're all uncut, which is quite surprising. The amount of cuts that Bond movies have had on terrestrial TV over the decades is unbelievable. But I think these are uncut. Someone who's watched them all will tell me, no, they cut this and they cut that. But from what I've seen, they're showing all the violence and all the smutty bits as well. What gives? But anyway, this morning I woke up and I thought, I wonder what Bond it is today. Because I don't check beforehand. And I raced downstairs. I knew I was late. I knew I was late for it, late to the party. And it was Moonraker. Moonraker! 1979. Bond goes ballistic into space. It is Eon does Star Wars. And in many ways, does it better. You see, people go like, oh, Moonraker, oh, it's the worst Bond. It's so stupid. But it's a guilty pleasure. Fuck off. It's not guilty at all. It's just a pleasure. I love and adore Moonraker. I'm not going to say, oh, you had to be around at the time, a kid of like 9 or 10 years old, which I would have been. And like, oh, it's Bond doing laser battles and space and all that. And you got Jaws back with big metal teeth. Oh, it's got loads of sexy women and it's loads of set pieces and it's Roger Moore. So a quip a minute, a raised eyebrow here, you know, a massive big dicky bow. The outsized tuxedo dicky bows that he used to wear. It was the 70s, let's not forget. But I have absolute no reservations about saying how much I love and adore Moonraker. Behind me there is the novelisation that Christopher Wood did for it's not Ian Fleming's. I've got Ian Fleming's original novel, which, you know, in name alone basically. But Moonraker, this particular book, I took to school every day for, you know, about a week or so whilst reading it in class, then rereading it when I should have been paying attention. But I love the imagery. Yes, he doesn't wear the suit like that, I know. He's wearing the Action Man astronaut suit. But the colour scheme, the imagery, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The other book I had at the time and was reading over and over again was Superman, the novelisation of Superman, the movie, which had very sort of similar colour scheme and similar design. Superman was flying into space and massive titles above him. Awesome. I've lost that Superman novelisation, which really does not piss me off, but I've retained this and I adore it. So this morning I raced down and you're not gonna stand up, are you? There you go. He's a stand-up guy. And I caught the last act. Basically, you're in Drax's pyramid and all the Moonrakers are about to take off and all that, like, and you've got Bond and Holly Goodhead, Lois Childs. They start clubbing these guys around the head and they're pretending to be astronauts who get into Moonraker 4, Moonraker 5, whatever the hell it is, like whichever one, and they blast off. I know the film really, really well, so it's not like a case of, oh, I've forgotten this, I've forgotten that. I know all these movies. And sometimes the beauty of these being on TV, if you decided to watch a Bond film, I'd be like, oh, go on the shelves, or this box set here, and go, oh, and in the end I go, oh, no, I don't know. I think I'll watch the old Casino Royale, you know, with Woody Allen and David Niven. I'll watch that one instead, because I just can't make up my mind which Bond I want to see. So sometimes when that choice is taken away from you, and it's just on, you go, oh, that was a bit camp, wasn't it? Ooh, ooh la la. I'll stick with this Bond. And it was Moonraker. And I sat there, my eyes were still just trying to wake up. They were glued shut with sleep. But Bond was there, Roger Moore was there, Holly Goodhead was there, and Michael Lonsdale as Hugo Drax. And straight away, the minute I saw him, I thought like, it's Ricky Gervais and Peter Dinklage merged together. You look at it. Ricky Gervais, Peter Dinklage form Hugo Drax. Simple as that. Their master plan to take over the world with new people, the gods and goddesses. Well, Ricky Gervais, Peter Dinklage, you ain't going to be in that run-up, are you? But then you're going to be playing God up in your space station, aren't you? And bring law and order to the earth after unleashing nerve warfare, which is going to take out 100 million people in the population. The thing is, if you did it now, there's 100 million more people, so, you know, just send a lot more of these little spheres of poison gas. But Richard Kiel returning as Jaws, one of the greatest villains that Bond's ever faced. Why does Roger Moore always seem to forget that mouth is made out of steel? He's got steel teeth, and yet you keep on going boom clang, ooh, like that. Why? You're meant to be the best secret agent we've got. You must have a bit of savvy. Don't punch him in the metal mouth, you idiot. And of course, there's loads of encounters with Jaws in this. And Jaws, although he finds love and romance with a little pigtailed girl with the big glasses and Mandela effect, the braces on her teeth, don't get me down that rabbit hole again. I've done an entire video on that. I'm sure I did. Or was it just another Mandela effect? I'm sure I discussed that at length at one point. Did she wear braces? Did she not? I remember her wearing braces. I do. But I've done a lot of alcohol since then. But anyway, so he meets her and he falls in love. But he's still got a mission in hand. He's working for Hugo Drax. He's got to take off Bond. So you get like the airplane stuff at the start, and he goes straight into the big top, and it as Jaws comes sailing in. The whole cable car fight. Oh, the big car chase where they go this side. Every time he comes out like just covered in dust, but like straight into his tie. Looks at where Bond may be. And the cable car thing where he's like, oh, you, and then suddenly he's about to hit the cable car station. He's like that. He's terrifying. He was terrifying in Spy Who Loved Me. And he has an incredibly terrifying sequence in Moonraker. And you know of which I speak. The Mardi Gras ceremony. The big, carnival. Oh my God. He's got the big, massive paper mache head and a clown costume. And he comes dancing down the street and all that, like. And the poor girl's waiting for Bond. He's having a big scrap up in the air, the museum above, with all the glass stuff and all that getting shattered everywhere. And he just starts walking down, stops dancing, starts walking down towards her. And you just see this huge, outlandishly absurd silhouette with this big outsized head. And you know what it is, but the way he just keeps on walking down, oh, it's sphincter tingling. It really, really makes your blood chill. And then he takes the mask off and it's him. I'm gonna put a bite on you, missy. And then it gets interrupted, not once but twice, by revelers come out dancing. So he's like, oh shit, yeah. He picks it up at one stage and he's like, yeah. And then they all dance past, he puts it down, about to put the bite on it. Bond leaps on his back and like knocks him across the alleyway. He's about to do the business again, like, and more revelers come out. In an absolute piece of genius that Richard Kiel does. He's like, he starts fighting against the tide of the crowd, pushing him and dancing down the alleyway away from his targets. And he just goes, in the end, he gives up, he goes, oh. Just starts dancing as well, like towering, above everybody else. He just starts dancing. And at that point you knew, even as a kid, you thought, they've softened him a bit here. Are they going to become friends? Because now he's got a girlfriend, you see. And it changes everything, doesn't it? But I didn't see most of the movie, not this time anyway, but I saw all of the spacey stuff and the pyramid and all that, saw all of that, and the flight into space. Bond has been in the air, sort of the zero-G thing, where Chang, is it Chang or Cheng? Whatever, puts the speed up, he's like, and Bond's like, and you wouldn't get out of that in one piece, would you? His eyebrows would have gone through the back of his head, no small feat for his eyebrows. And but he's okay. And a crash course in, like, you know, space physics and like rocketry and all that. Leave the atmosphere, and like don't worry, because she knows their stuff. NASA and Vasa as well. Where did you learn to fight? NASA, Vasa. It's a school of arts, in case you didn't know. And they get up to the space station, which is, it's all ridiculous. In the last half hour, they cram in. Everyone's gone to space, and you have the mega plan that's going to take place. I'm using all these Adonises and goddesses, all the best, you know, physical specimens that I could muster, and we're going to repopulate the Earth. And of course, this is when poor old Richard Keeler's Jaws and his little diminutive pigtail. She's fucking gorgeous, but they kind of depict her as being, well, she's not one of these gorgeous, buxom, leggy blondes, which is everywhere else on the space station. And once the spacesuits come off and all that, like, she's absolutely a goddess as well. I forgot her name now, but anyway, she's gorgeous. But you can see big, lumpy, acromegaliad Richard Keel's going, like, that's a big thing on his fod. And like the pineal gland is beginning to grow on him, and his big metal teeth. And Drax is going on about all the, you know, all this, the magnificent specimens, perfection and all this. And he's thinking, hang on a minute, I clearly don't fit that bill. And you can see the seeds of doubt in his mind. And it's genius, like, it's also very sad at the same time. But, and obviously Blofeld, may as well be. Drax reveals his master plan to Bond. James Bond, you appear with the tedious inevitability of an unloved season. And then proceeds to tell him his master plan. Wouldn't you think that, because James Bond 007 is so well known by all these criminal masterminds and megalomaniacs with their private armies, that someone would just go, don't, that's James Bond, you recognise him, you know who it is, he's defeated all our other assassins so far, and now he's here in the base that we took years and millions and billions of dollars to build, you know, and hide it away from the authorities. This is your life's dream, our dream. Don't waste your time monologuing. I've just done a big monologue there. Kill him, if you learn nothing. Every time he gets into the big bad guy's secret hideout, within minutes, the whole fucking thing is aflame and destroyed. Kill him. To be honest, Drax doesn't waste too much time. Right, you two, fucking in the airlock, off you go. But Jaws, take them. Jaws, you answer to me. But Jaws has now realised, hang on, this ain't gonna work for me. And it's great, you know, he just goes to the two yellow suited guards, you know, go and get him. And as they move behind him, he just grabs their heads and goes, fuck off, boof, you know, with them big hands, those heads would be mashed potato, poof, ah. And then like Jaws and Bond and the little girl and Holly Goodhead are gonna fight back. But not only them, a contingent of US Space Marines, basically Trump's, this is a progenitor for Trump's Space Force, managed to get into a fucking shuttle, and within minutes, space travel is diminished to literally seconds in this movie. And of course, the sound in space, you know, I'm afraid in space, you can't hear people scream, because the big space battle that takes place, US Marines, and who is the fighting force that Drax uses? Is it meant to be all these, you know, paired up, you know, male and female, you know, the gods and goddesses of the new world? Is it them? Or does he have an actual onboard standby army? You'll find out. But they all float together. The US Marines, you've got the guy in the, platoon number 1, open cargo bay doors, right, EVA now, you know, so they float out. They've got no idea what they're about to face. They haven't seen the great big fucking sprawling bloody space station city in space. They haven't seen that. They just come out, space. Have they been training up there all this time? They'd be like, wow. And they're all in the white suits of the good guys, and the yellow sort of space suits of the bad guys, the Drax henchmen, hench army, hench spacemen, and they all drift together. Pew, 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 fucking laser beams, and they're going there, screaming. Face plates and visors are getting shattered, and the bodies are tumbling off. They're hitting bits of the space station. They're going off into space and all that, like. And it's quite, when you think about it, it's actually quite extreme what they're showing there. People are getting zapped and wasted in spectacularly, they're very violent, sort of jiggly-pokery sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, choreography sort of fight scenes. And it's great. And of course, inside Bond, they switch on the zero G and they're fucking fighting everyone and all. It's all going fucking tits up for Drax. And Jaws is now fighting them all as well. Like, then they've unleashed, what is it, 3 of these nerve gas fucking chemical warfare virus things, and you've seen how that works. You've seen it in Venice. Anyway, and off there fucking scooting. So they not only have got to destroy Drax and his henchmen, they've got to fucking go after these things as well. It's great. It's thunderously stupid. But when they switch off, when they've got a radar jamming device so that the Earth hasn't seen how they've flown out there and begun to build this thing without anyone on Earth noticing that. Every little thing of it, from its inauguration, it's the first founding piece of metal that they've erected there to make this space station, would have to be radar jammed as well. But anyway, it's got a jamming system and all this, so the Earth never detected it. But of course, Bond and Holly Goodhead have got to go and find how to disable this. And they're reading all the plans. They're in the yellow jumpsuit things, you know, trying to look like they know what they're doing, not draw attention to themselves. Even though their faces are quite clearly Bond and Holly Goodhead, anyone would recognise them. And they're going against the crowd and all that. They're going to the scurrying to their positions on the deck and all that, whatever jobs they've got. Obviously, if you're part of the good-looking people, you should be in your dormitories shagging each other to progenerate, you know, the next race. And they fight, right? Communications room there, level 10. So off they go, and down these little gantry ways. And if you look at it, there's a big circular room with 2 guys, 2 Draxites who are in there. And there's a big metal set of steps coming down and a fireman's pole. Why have you got a set of steps and a fireman's pole? Why have you got, well, okay, I just thought, you can slide down it quick. You can't go up it quick, so you can slide down and go up the ladder. It's snakes and ladders, folks, in space. And they come sliding down the pole, and she makes all smiles at this guy who goes, yeah. Should be thinking, I don't recognise you from the roster on this flight. And she walks over to him and she fucking smacks him in the face, and he goes for it. And then she fucking takes him out, good style. And then another guy, before Bond can take this other guy out, this guy runs at Holly Goodhead. And she hoofs him in the fucking kidneys. And then, boof! And he goes, wow, spins round. And Bond hits him from the other side, bang! But they're proper good fucking 60s and 70s Bond movie speciality sound effects. A real good resounding, if a fist makes that noise when it makes contact with any part of your anatomy, you've lost that part of your anatomy forever. Simple as. And their fist will be knackered as well. It's like punching a fucking piece of steel, which Roger Moore knows all about from punching Jaws in the face repeatedly. When they get caught, it's Jaws that catches them before they join sides and all that, like, and to fight Drax. And Bond hits him in the face and goes, ooh! Bond then punches him in the gut, and Bond goes, oof! Like that. The thing about Roger Moore's fights is that, especially from Spy Love Me, this and onwards, is that you could see there's no way this particular Bond is going to win any fist-to-fist sort of skirmish. No close quarter combat is he going to come out smelling a roses from. And I love that Roger Moore always does an oof. You didn't get Pierce Brosnan doing that. You didn't get Daniel Craig. You didn't get Roger Moore. No. Sean Connery or George himself, George Lazenby. Yes, you can see I don't have any Moonraker stuff really, apart from the book, soundtrack, and a few DVDs and Blu-rays of it. I don't have any canvases, but they'll do for now. My favourite Bond movie, as you all know, is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then probably this, and this one is on tomorrow. tomorrow afternoon, the ITV one, on Sunday afternoon, it's for your eyes only. Now, I would always think that that normally is cut on TV broadcasts, but we shall see, if I bother watching it. I always mean to do a season of reviewing all the Bond movies. I certainly have reviewed some of the Daniel Craig ones as they came out and all that, especially No Time to Die. Oh, just caught up in time with the last movie. But I've never got around to doing it properly, and this is not a review of Moonraker. When I do Moonraker properly, it's going to be a full-on, in-depth thing, you know that. But hopefully I might get some more Moonraker things to put in the background. That is outstanding. Of course, this followed on. So once you'd had Bond gone into space, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, you're just doing Star Wars." I think they do it better. You actually have when they escape in Moonraker 5, but of course the whole space station is blowing apart now. The US Marines under Colonel Scott they've got into this thing they only saw 5 minutes ago, blasted off from Cape Canaveral or whatever the secret fucking base was, and gone straight there. They had a massive space battle outside in Zero G, and they've broken in less than 5 minutes. They've broken into this enemy space station, which they hadn't even seen before. No idea what's on the inside. And you've got two people who claim to be on their side, who are dressed identically to all the bad guys they've been having to kill. "Oh, I'm James Bond 007. Yeah, I'm Dr. Holly Goodhead. Blah, 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 blah. Who are you? I'm Colonel Scott. US Marines." "Right, well, you've done your mission now, Colonel. So just get out, bug out. We've got to capture those fucking space spheres of poison, right?" So the Colonel gets out, and they manage to escape. And of course, our heroes get into Moonraker 5. But during all the damage done to the space station, which is falling apart, it's just crumbling and exploding in different locations. The whole set of Pinewood is rocking about, something chronic. And but they can't disengage. But they see Jaws and his little babe are there in the window, and they're waving. "We're all friends now." Put the loudspeaker on. "Jaws, we can't disengage. Can you help us out?" So Jaws does something. He bends a piece of metal. Cheers, Jaws. Off they go, and they wave goodbye. This space is just fucking exploding. And then in one of the, it is ludicrous. Jaws and his little bosom buddy in a chunk of the space station, which is hurtling into space, and Roger Moore, 007, who knows nothing about space really. He's a naval commander, not a fucking space navy commander. And he says he goes, "Don't worry, they'll make it. It's only 100 miles to Earth." How do you know they're going to make it? How can they land? How can they land? It's not a fucking spacecraft. It's a chunk of metal that they're sitting in, which has been blown away from an exploding space station. How are they going to get through the atmosphere? But you're like, "Oh, they're going to make it. They'll be all right." It's genius. It's such ludicrous geniusness at the same time. And then, right, we've got to tick off those fucking spheres of death. So, and this is wonderful. This is Luke trying to hit the exhaust pipe with his torpedo at the end of through the Death Star and all that. And they're skipping across the Earth's atmosphere, so the nose cone's heating up and all that. And I kid you not, it's genuinely exciting. It's dizzy as fuck, but it's really exciting and very similar to Luke using Luke, you switch off your targeting system, use the Force, Luke, Well, Roger Moore does this. He hits the first two, and it's one of them targeting systems. It goes, it's like there's the target, and it hits, fire, laser beam takes it out, and you get the next one. But it's getting awfully hot in here. And she says to him, Lois Shields isn't the greatest actress the world has ever known. She's not bad, but she's not the best. And she just says, I can't maintain this course much longer. It's too hot. we're gonna break apart in minutes. It's like, just give me a few seconds more. And he switches off the computer system, and he does it manually. It's a manual laser beam, right? James, 2 more seconds. James, just hold her steady. No, I'm gonna fucking jiggle it about. What do you think I'm gonna do? Hold her steady. No, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna have a roller coaster in space. How's about that, James? You'll be telling me what to do. It's a woman's world these days. You misogynist dinosaur. and he gets it. But the effects of them skipping along the atmosphere and the nose cone glowing red, I think it's really good. But they do see the space station explode, which of course things don't explode like that in space, and you don't get sound in space either. How do we know? Because it's a vacuum. How do we know that you don't get sound in a vacuum? Because the boffins tell us. Do you know? You've been to space? You've seen things blow up in space? Do you know? You don't, do you? No, none of us know. You haven't been there, have we? But do you know what? That explosion of Drax's space station is the best space explosion I've ever seen. Forget the Death Star and the revamped George Lucas retweaked Death Star explosion with the big sound wave boom. Boom. This, the flame jets and the big ferocious, it's almost a demonic face you see in the flames. It is spectacular. Boom ski. And of course, we're heading towards Earth now. Don't worry, James, we've done our job now. Blah 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 blah. And of course, then you've got the Kremlin, and you've got NASA, and you've got MI6, and we've got onboard. How have they got access to the onboard cameras on Drax's Moonraker 5? How have they got access to that? Oh, we've patched in, whatever. And so they got access now, and because Buckingham Palace are very interested, they're going to catch it all as well. So you've got M sitting there, Desmond Llewellyn, Q's fucking about somewhere else, and you've got what's his name? Oh, the other guy. Oh no. You'd see him in a couple of the Bond movies, another big wig, He's there anyway, sitting next to M. Betting it with his M. And they cut to the screen, and there they are, floating in zero G with just a very flimsy sheet covering their obviously coitus-involved bodies. And M just goes, you gotta love it. He just goes 007, and then this other guy, his name I can't remember, he goes, what's Bond doing? And Q, who's not looking at the view screen, he's looking at our trajectories. He goes, I think he's attempting re-entry, sir. It's class, pure class. I think he's attempting re-entry, sir. And M just goes. But you get Roger Moore, who suddenly floats up next to the camera and just goes, cheers, sir, or whatever he says, over and out. James, take me around the world one more time. What a great line. She can deliver that line quite spectacularly well. Take me around the world one more time. It's just genius, folks. I only watched the last, half hour, 45 minutes of it, and it's blown me away all over again. And it will prompt, I always say this, it'll prompt a season of Bond reviews. It probably won't, but I will at some stage get started on the Bond movies and go in depth on them, because you all know them and you all love them. So you're hearing, this is like a different play mix. I've got the full complete score to Moonraker, but alternate tracks, some of which are in here, I think. But you're hearing Flight into Space, which is a truly gorgeous piece of music. But let's go for, have I put it here? Yes, I have. Corinne, one of Drax's aides, who, and to be honest, she's the sexy one in it. Drax's palatial plaza, but she helps Bond as well, and of course Drax realises this, and he has her assassinated. He lets her go. We don't need your services any longer. You may leave the grounds. So she just walks off, and he has his dogs, and he sets his dogs on her. Now, to this day, that sequence is harrowing, absolutely harrowing, and they chase her down. And John Barry's enormously evocative, beautiful score. A lot of tragedy involved in this one as well. There are elements of his King Kong. I always bring this up tonight. I always talk about his King Kong score, the '76 remake of King Kong, because, and I say it again, something clearly happened to John Barry. The fun, the magic, the zest, it didn't leave him, but it got penetrated and tainted with a sense of melancholy and tragedy. And all of his scores from that point onwards really had it in. And all the Bond scores as well had these darker, sadder, more tragic elements. And you're hearing it now. This is when she realises the dogs are after her. Sorry, Captain Ronnie. Because after I watched it this morning, I spoke to Captain Ronnie. And he cited this. He said, oh God, I love that score. But that bit where Corinne gets taken down by the dogs. It's the way that the music goes from being, on a level, there's a sense of dread there, but then it builds and becomes a relentless, chase down. And it's a savage sequence. What else have we got? Now listen to this. This is pure King Kong. This is from King Kong. This is from the end of King Kong, as Jeff Bridges is legging up the World Trade Center, and Kong's climbing up and all that. But anyway. No. We're going to end on the boat chase. This is the gondola thing, which is, it is stupid, but it was the Roger Moore era. It was meant to be stupid. Here's my favourite bit of Bond music ever. This is it. This is the final iteration of it. The 007 theme, not the James Bond theme, the 007 theme. And I've said all along for years and years and years that at my funeral, if I ever do die, it's never going to happen, folks. I'll just fake it. I want this playing, and you'll hear me on the inside of the coffin going, bop, 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 bop. And then I'll break out in a tuxedo. Ta-da! Now, this version, it's slower, it's more regal, it's a bit more sedate. It's a more beautiful, this is a much extended version, by the way. It's less propulsive, the same theme, but it's more class to it. And this is the big speedboat chase. Oh, it's irresistible, isn't it? How did Jaws and his little girl get back? How did Jaws get back? How did he go? They even say at one stage during that, we've got cameras on board the Moonraker 5, so we'll speak to Bond in a moment, blah, 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 blah. But we've picked up another vessel with a tall man and a small girl in it, a small woman. How are you going to get them back? How are you going to get them back? And by the way, Jaws has killed an enormous amount of people and caused terror, been part of terror plots across the globe for years and years and years. You can't just let him off, can you? You can't do that. Although you could say he helped save the planet. Does one good deed cancel out other bad deeds? I don't know. What am I doing that for? I've got two basketballs on the go. Ah, now it builds. More elements of the orchestra come in. Of course, you know what I'm going to do now, don't you? Yeah, other than go to the pub. Yes, I'm going to do that as well, but before I do that, let's hear how this should be played. Now, where's the best rendition of it? Oh, it's got to be from Russia with Love, because that's when it first appeared. Yeah. Okay. Oh, This is how it should be. And it's in 5 movies. But Moonraker was the last. There's been Morse code. Mission in progress. Send the Marines! See, this is the older version, the more traditional one. Very jazzy, very, in your face. Glistening, with brass. This is the one from my funeral. And everyone in the congregation was going like, boo, boo, boo. So, thus endeth my spaceflight career. I crashed that immediately. Like the brass section just like farted. John Barry's like, and fart. Oh, it's dynamite, isn't it? And thanks to Astrodyne for this t-shirt, by the way. Yeah. Barely fits over my moobage. Look at that. It's like I've got a Kevlar vest underneath. Imagine being in the orchestra playing this. Kilt-Man, put that trumpet down and just get at the back of the auditorium. You're distracting everyone doing cartwheels and punching everybody out. Right, folks, there you go. So it was supper with Satan, breakfast with Bond. Pretty good dynamic, that, I think. So, folks, I have been and always shall be Kilt-Man, so please, in the meantime, as ever, Moonraker is not a guilty pleasure. It's a very big guilty pleasure in between time. I'm going to see you all later. So keep it kilted, keep it Celtic and all that malarkey. Ta-ra.